All right, so tell us about your setup.
So I'm getting ready to cut up chicken wings that we bought in a pack. These are not frozen like you would get in a big bag, but just kind of individual chicken wings that I'm going to have to break down kind of into the familiar chicken wing form. So I got a cutting board. I'm putting a cloth under my cutting board, that way it doesn't slide around a whole lot as I'm using it. So I'm going to get that adjusted, kind of how I like it.
And if you buy these in the frozen section in the bag, they're already divided in these two parts.
Yeah.
But because Jason's going to show you like what it looks like in a second. But that's why we're breaking them apart. They cook. Would you say they cook more evenly? I know they're easier to eat. That's the main part, but
yeah, I think they're easier to eat, and they're kind of like traditionally people know wings to be the drumettes and the flats, I think are what they call the other side of them. So these are whole chicken wings. I'm gonna put them into that form of drumettes and flats. So cutting board, now I need a knife. When I get ready to use a knife, I always try to like just steel it a little bit. That way it's pretty sharp.
you want to talk about angle, or you want to do like that separate?
We can do that separate, I think. I mean, I guess I can talk about a little bit how to use it. I'm just trying to hold it at a consistent angle. If that's 90 degrees, then I'm trying to maybe more like 20. I don't know if it's, I mean, I don't spend a lot of time like stressing about, oh, this exact angle. Just as long as I have the angle set and I'm keeping it at that angle as I move it across the steel, I'm doing it that way so that edge gets sharpened up or kind of pointed, and then I do the same thing with the other side. That way you end up with an angle that's kind of like that, not rolled this way or that way. So I have my cutting board set up. I got my knife sharp. I'm ready to dig into the wings. So this is you can see it's the traditional wing that you would maybe get at Bojangles or Kentucky Fried Chicken, the whole thing. So I'll start by cutting down here, get that piece of meat and kind of the split. That way I can move the wing apart. What I'm looking for is a joint between the two pieces. So you just kind of have to feel your weight as you cut. So I cut, you can see maybe that there's a joint there. I try to kind of hit, that gives me a drumette. So now I have the flat part of it that still has the actual chicken wing kind of end of it. That's not a whole lot of meat on there. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off too. Again, I'm looking for the joint kind of between this piece and the main chicken wing, and that's right there. You kind of have to get a feel. This one's a little bit harder for me to hit sometimes. You can see I kind of dug through, had to kind of dig through the joint there, kind of missed it a little bit, but that's fine. I mean, if you have a sharp knife, you're not going to have a whole lot of trouble getting through the bone. This is, now I have them separated. I have this piece. This can be used in like to make broth, chicken broth, so we'll save those. Sometimes my mom.
Yeah, we don't really save those.
We don't save them, but my mom does. She
Yes.
turns them into chicken broth. So now it's just me moving through all these wings. Again, cutting through the meat a little bit, getting the meat apart, trying to find the joint that is there, then doing this part. So I'm going to the side. You see, I missed my first cut. I missed that joint, so I kind of had to back up again and try to find it. So it's kind of a feel thing. You get used to trying to find that feel of where the joint is. I completely missed that. See a little bit of work I had to do to get that off. So if you're hitting the joint, it will not be that much work to do. It can go pretty quickly. All right, so all my wings are cut up now, so I'm going to season these with salt and pepper, not very heavily, but just to make sure there's some flavor on it. In the end, we're going to season these with Frank's Red Hot wing sauce and some salt and vinegar rub that we got from
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Buffalo Wild Wings, yeah, that Jonas loves. So we'll do a few for this that way he can eat them. We may do a few plain for Abram. I doubt Abram was going to eat any of these, but we'll try. So right now I'm just going to season these with salt and pepper lightly, let them sit while I get the grill ready to go, and then we'll move on to cooking from there. So we just have this salt container. It has loose salt on it. I'm just going to go over the wings. I have them in one layer, that way I can kind of hit both sides of them. So that should be enough salt for them. I have my wings over here too that didn't fit in the pan. Get those. So then I'll turn them over and do the exact same thing on the other side. That lighter cube. That way it all kind of gets lit and can then light my other coals. We'll kind of carefully reach under here. And start the lighter cube. That has caught, you'll see it smoking. So now I just put that here and let it catch the coals to their burning temp, and we'll come back. So we've been cooking for about an hour now, so I'm gonna lift the lid and look at the wings. When I'm cooking stuff like this, I try not to look at it. There's a saying that goes, if you're looking, you ain't cooking. Because if you lift the lid a bunch, you're gonna let out all your heat, kind of like opening an oven door. So I haven't really looked at these, so we'll see how they look. As you can see, they're kind of brown. They've cooked down a little bit. The fat's kind of cooked out of them, which is what we want. So I'm just gonna maybe flip these over, let them cook a little bit longer to kind of continue to cook, get a little bit more done, and then I'll kind of move them over to the direct side of the coals to crisp up further. They're pretty crispy now. I mean, these are cooking good. It was stuck a little bit. Yeah, these are actually, I might go ahead and move these over because these are getting close to where we like them at.
How can you tell? What tells you that?
I'm just kind of feeling the wing, looking at the meat.
That one right there is like pulling away from the bone.
Yeah, you can see they're shrunk down, they're pulling away from the bone. It kind of is, you just have to get a feel for it. As you cook a lot, you'll get to know what people like and where you're trying to go as far as doneness. Oh man, that was stuck bad. I know Jennifer likes her wings to be kind of pull off the bone, no chew,
Yep.
dry almost. So,
Yep.
that's what we're going to go for here. So I'm looking for these. This is a good example.
Normal people would really probably like them just like this.
Yeah, they were probably like them. They
Not
probably
even
say these are
crisp.
done.
Yeah.
You can see the skin's pulled back here. Pulled back here on this one. The bone's coming out a little bit. You know, these wings are cooked all the way through. They're ready to eat. So we're just really kind of cooking them to where we like them at this point. And you probably really don't even have to do this step. I'm going to put my lid back on and go get my bowls of sauce ready to kind of, I'm going to crisp up the wings. I do this in 2 stages. One, I crisp up the wings, let the skin crisp. I put them into the sauce, get them covered in sauce and put them back on for a little bit just to kind of set the sauce onto the wings. And then pull them out again, and then they're kind of done. So we'll get set up for that. All right, they've been cooking a little bit more. So now I'm going to crisp them up, put them in my sauce, put them back on, let them finish, and then put them back in the sauce to kind of set. So
The first time you cooked them for 1 hour?
about an hour, yeah.
And it's only been like probably 10 minutes
Probably,
since we were
yeah.
out here.
Yeah, it hasn't been long at all. You have to be careful with this part because it can go really fast, depending on how high your coals are. They can really burn. You can see they're turning brown pretty quickly. So, putting these hot wings into the sauce. Throw a couple in Jonas' sauce over here.
That's the salt and vinegar powder
Salt and vinegar powder.
from Buffalo Wild Wings.